Here's the story. This is a food segment now. The other day, I'd mentioned that Wendy's chili will now be canned and on sale, at least at Kroger, starting today across certain test markets. Then they're planning to go nationwide here within the next few months, and you will see Wendy's chili with the Wendy's brand on it. But I said, how are they going to do that? Because what they usually do, I've always heard, is they take burgers that hadn't sold, leftover burgers, chop up the meat, and that becomes the meat in the chili.
Is that one of those? I've heard you say this many times, Kelly. Do you remember who told you that? Was your source? I know it's been decades.
It was somebody that worked at Wendy's when I was in high school. They said, because I would get the chili, and he'd say, that's the burgers we used from the night before, which didn't bother me so much because it seemed like a good use. I mean, burgers. You cook a burger on the grill, you have it the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem with it.
I stand that I believe that did happen, but I think it no longer does.
Well, we had the caller from Wendy's who said he worked there within the last 10 years, and that's how they did it. Mm-hmm. And now a Wendy's manager says, I have been a manager at 3 different Wendy's restaurants. It is true the hamburger meat that is cooked and not sold in its hold time, which is 2 hours, is chopped up and used for chili. I have worked there. I stopped working there 4 years ago. The chopped meat also only has a hold time of 2 hours before it must be thrown out. So I guess they make up burgers, and if it's not sold within 2 hours, chop it up, put it aside, and use it in the chili. Okay. I do not have a problem with that.
No.
But it did. Somebody suggested, isn't the chili now just brought in buckets and vats?
That's what I thought.
Who said that?
I did. It's because to me that's just a lot of extra work and storage space.
I agree. Listen,
you've got the clock ticking down on this meat in this bin.
I know.
Clock ticking on the burgers. Then you got to turn it into chili. Well, and if that doesn't sell, then you got to toss it.
Now I worked barbecue for a time, as you know, and we had hot dogs and we had chili, and it came in frozen, like plastic vats, and smaller enough, and we would put those in hot water, and it would melt the chili, and then we just heat it up. Is all there was to it. But that was just hot dog chili, and then the burgers. Now I'll tell you, we would cook the burgers on the grill, and then we would put them in a solution on the serving table, where we made the burger, and they would go into some sort of solution with a special sauce. It looked like Worcestershire sauce, but it would flavor the burgers. And if we had some left over at the end of the night, we'd try to time it where we didn't have many left over. But if we did, we'd put them in the walk-in cooler and serve them the next day. So we had them, the first few people. I think that's true. I'm almost sure that's true.
Early lunch rush got 13-hour-old burgers.
Yeah, but it was that you couldn't really tell. I don't think. But now we would make burgers immediately. As soon as we opened, we started making burgers, because that was a popular item. Now, this gentleman who worked at Wendy's and managed 3 of them said, I can't rule out the possibility that individual restaurants or managers violate the policies, but I managed at 3, and every one of them observed our 2-hour hold policy. Once the burger was 2 hours old, chili. We make it into chili. Hope it helps. Okay, yeah.
Now there's just a tiny cloud of suspicion over every other Wendy's.
We don't know.
I hope everybody else was watching that clock. I know I did.
Maybe you put it in some bin and it just counts down at all. Now when we did it, we made burgers ahead of time and kept them there. But I always felt like the burgers were so quick to turn over at Wendy's, they'd never be on hold for 2 hours.
They're always patted, right?
Yeah,
but the cooking, I thought was to order.
I did too. But I mean, it takes a while to cook a burger, so maybe not. Maybe they're just back there cooking them all the time. And if you have some leftover, then that's where you make the chili. Okay, here's another deal too on fast food. KFC is bringing back one of its most popular items, but only for a limited time. This starts on Saturday. The KFC Double Down is coming back.
Perhaps their most controversial menu item ever.
Yeah. Man.
It's a chicken sandwich without the sandwich.
Correct. It's 2 chicken breasts deep fried, and those are the buns. And then inside are 2 slices of cheese, bacon, and your choice of mayonnaise or a spicy sauce. This is the worst week ever to start a low-sodium diet.
I'll tell you, even I remember when that first came out, and I get it. I'm fat. But
you said that
we don't eat everything. Okay. People just assume
we fats don't eat all of it.
Yeah,
right?
And I just remember being so disgusted by that.
You were disgusted,
but the amount of people were like, "I know you're gonna dog that out." And I'm like, no, just because I'm fat doesn't mean I'm going to eat
Doesn't
anything.
mean you eat everything. That's
Yeah.
right. That's a great way to put that. The fats don't eat everything.
Everything.
Remember,
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't. You don't. In my lifetime, I don't remember any other fast food item creating quite the stir as this sandwich.
This it did.
Because it blew people's minds.
The Double Down made its debut in 2010 and sold more than 10 million sandwiches. And despite that, they backed down on selling it and discontinued it. And some people who were passionate about it said, bring it back, and have been saying bring it back. But others said, thank God it's gone, you know.
Health, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you know,
It's
there's
KFC.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of unhealthy stuff.
Are you saying,
out there.
Biggie, you've never had a double down?
No, I thought it looked disgusting.
I want to ask you a very personal question in a moment because I was talking about you when you were in the hospital.
Of course.
Dave.
No, tell me your resume again. What are your attributes? What would you say you bring to a team in a fast-paced environment?
And when could you start?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
This is all theoretical for right now.
Sure.
Dave, you're talking about Wendy's chili. Go ahead.
Yeah, when we used to cook, pre-cook burgers lunchtime so we can get them out faster during dinner. And if they sat a little too long or kind of overcooked one, we'd chop it up and put it in the chili. And to this day, I'm 50 years old, and I still love their chili.
It is good. It's really good.
Living proof.
I mean, that's it. That's now 3 people that worked at Wendy's and my original friend from high school, and they all say the same thing. That's how they do it.
Do you think, Kelly, in your life you will ever buy a single can of chili from the grocery store with Wendy's labels on it?
I do not. No. Thank you, Dave.
It's like the whatchamacallit at Burger King. You'll never buy it, but you'll champion it.
What was it at Burger King?
The vegan Whopper.
Oh, the vegetable.
the not Whopper or whatever.
The
Yeah.
Impossible Burger. You're right. I'll never buy that.
No.
No. And we never buy chili to eat like out of the bowl. I just buy hot dog chili for at home when we're making dogs. That's it. Plus, I've been off red meat for about 8 weeks, and I don't see myself going back to it. I do not see myself ever having another morsel of bread.
Bruh.
You going to have a burger?